Welcome to this Epicure tutorial, DATAB Part 1, an explanation of how DATAB works. DATAB is an Epicure module, one of 4 modules within Epicure, the others being Amphit, Peanuts, Pecan, and Gumbo. Amphit, Peanuts, Pecan, and Gumbo are all modules for analyzing data. DATAB, on the other hand, is a generalized program for converting individual records to a table of person years stratified by defined categories, such as age and time categories, as well as other factors. Consider this example. We will define a study monitoring subjects for an event between ages 50 and 80. We would like to observe the rates in 5-year categories. We begin by defining 5-year categories from age 50 to 80. We'll name these Age Cat 1, Age Cat 2, Age Cat 3, etc. On the age scale at the bottom, the blue line represents a person who entered the study here at age 56 and accumulates person time until they reach 78 when they exit the study. Between ages 56 and 78, there's a total of 22 person years. Those person years are accumulated into defined age categories as shown. As the person does not enter the study until age 56, there's no accumulated person time in Age Cat 1. In Age Cat 2, there are 4 person years, 5 person years in Age Cat 3, 5 person years, 5 person years, and 3 person years, for a total of 22 person years for this one individual. A study would involve many people, likely entering and exiting at different times. In this expanded example, we see there are 4 people who contribute time to Age Cat 1. The total number of person years in Age Cat 1 is 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 3 additional person years for a total of 18. In Age Cat 2, there are 6 persons who contribute person time, 4 of whom contribute 5 years, plus 1 person who contributes 4, and another person who contributes 2. This is a total of 26 person years in Age Cat 2. Similarly, 27 person years in Age Cat 3, 18 years, 15 years, and 9 person years. Persons exit the study and are no longer under surveillance at various ages. The second person ages out of the study and was alive as of age 80, whereas others are shown to have left the study earlier. This may be due to them leaving the catchment area and are no longer under surveillance, or perhaps they had the event of interest. Persons suffering the event of interest are marked with an X. We can sum the number of events in each of the age categories. In Age Cat 4, we see 1 event. Age Cat 6 has 2 events. Once we have both the number of events and the cumulative person time in each category, we can calculate rates for each age category. In the early age categories, there are no events, so these rates are 0. In this category, there is 1 event in 18 person years, giving a rate of 0.06 events per person year. And here, 2 events in 9 person years for a rate of 0.22 events per person year. In the next few slides, we'll briefly describe the syntax needed to define our example study in DATAB. The time statement creates a time scale, which we often call age, but the variable name is arbitrary. For our example study, we want 5-year age categories starting at age 50 and ending at age 80. The statement is opened with the time keyword, shown in blue, followed by the name of the new variable that DATAB will create as a result of this statement, shown in red. We'll call this age. The statement continues with the keyword from, which requires a variable indicating the year. In our data set, that variable name is BYR, or birth year. Optionally, we can also include month and day keywords, followed by variables representing those values. Another new variable, AgeCat, shown in red, will be created with sequential values starting at 1 for each of the defined categories. AgeCat equal to 1 will indicate the first age category, 2 indicates the next age category, etc. Our choices for the definition of the age categories are shown on the next line. They start with age 50 and end at age 80 with 5-year increments. All Epicure statements are terminated with the ampersand. The formatting of the statement is arbitrary. Line breaks can be used instead of spaces for clarity. Note that there are other syntax variations for the time statement. Please see the documentation for these variations. The time statement defined upper and lower limits to a person's age in the study. But a person often exits the study prior to the age limit. The exit statement defines the date when an individual should exit surveillance. The exit keyword is followed by variables indicating the date of exit and is terminated with an ampersand. When a person exits surveillance, it may be because they voluntarily quit the study, or it may be because they are no longer at risk for an incident event. DATAB needs to know whether an event occurred at exit. The event statement is used for this definition, where the variable value is 0 indicating no event occurred, or 1 indicating an event occurred. While not shown in our example, it is often the case that you may want to begin accumulating person years from a particular date. Previously, we defined our study starting at age 50, but perhaps another constraint may be from age 50 and after a particular date. The entry statement defines the minimum date from which person years can begin to accumulate. Entry is the keyword, and then we provide year, month, and day values. DATAB aggregates person years into defined categories. Categories that depend on time or age can have upper and lower limits. Categories unchanging in time can also be defined, for example, socioeconomic status, sex, country of birth, etc. Remember that only person years that fall within limits of all definitions are accumulated. This concludes part 1 of the DATAB tutorial, an explanation of how DATAB works. In part 2, we'll do a demonstration of DATAB utilizing the concepts and statements shown in this tutorial. Remember to visit us at herosoft.com, where you can ask questions and get answers to your questions regarding how to use Epicure. Thank you.